Thank you to the captioner. We see test captions. Thank you.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. This is the Thursday, January 29th, 2026, Santa Clara County Redevelopment Dissolution Countywide Oversight Board at 1:30 p.m.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. And we'll have a roll call, please, Colin.
All right, seat 1, Member Berry.
Present.
And for seat 2, Member Klein is absent. Seat number 4, Member Gomez.
Present.
Seat number 5, Member Chim.
Present.
Seat number 7, Pasquale, absent. Seat number 6, Vice Chairperson Snow.
Here.
And seat number 3, Chairperson Estromera.
Thank you, Colin.
We have a quorum. Did I miss anybody? I think we're good. Okay. Thank you.
All right, so that's it. All right, now's the time for public comment. Any members of the public that might want to address us on any issue that's not on our agenda today are welcome to do so now.
I have no request to speak in the room, and I have no request to speak online.
Great, thank you, Colin. We'll move right along to approve consent calendar and any changes to the agenda. If there are none, then we can have an approval. We'll go right to 4.1, adopt resolution to elect the chairperson and vice chairperson.
Oh, before we go to number
Yes.
4, can we do a motion and a second, and then the vote, just for the record?
approval of the calendar, okay.
Okay, I motion to approve.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Second.
David. Those in
right.
motion say aye.
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 Opposed say no, abstentions? Yes.
Can I abstain from the approval of the minutes because I was absent at the last meeting?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it'll still pass. Thank you. I will note that for the record. Member Chim abstained.
Thank you.
We'll move right to 4, adopt resolution to elect the chairperson and vice chairperson for the Redevelopment Dissolution Countywide Oversight Board.
I'd like to make a motion to elect you as our chairperson, Member Estromera.
Do it one more year.
And I'd like to continue the duo we've got here and nominate Mr. Snow as your vice chair.
And I'll second that emotion.
So I will have it on the record as a motion by Vice Chairperson Snow, seconded by Member Berry, to elect Member Estromera as chairperson and Member Snow as vice chairperson. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Would you like me to take the vote?
Yes, please.
There are no requests to speak in the room, and there are no requests to speak online. Member Berry.
Aye.
All right. Member Gomez.
Aye.
Member Chim.
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Snow.
Yes.
And Chairperson Estromera.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Move on to item 5. Adopt resolution authorizing the successor agency to the redevelopment agency of the city of Sunnyvale to execute and implement the compensation agreement relating to the disposition of the real properties known as the Sunnyvale Town Center public parking garage parcels. Do we have anyone here from Sunnyvale?
We do. I can introduce this item, though, if that's
please.
okay with everybody. Brian
Absolutely.
Darrow with the Office of the County Executive, also serve as staff for the Oversight Board. So the item before you today is a resolution, as you mentioned, Mr. Chair, authorizing the Sunnyvale successor agency to execute an agreement to transfer the final 3 properties it owns to the city of Sunnyvale. Once that agreement is fully executed, the successor agency would be able to dissolve. This action today is not the final step in the process because there are a number of taxing entities that we need to go to after this action. The City of Sunnyvale and the County Board of Supervisors have already approved the compensation agreement, but there's the school districts and several special districts that we would need authorization from as well. But this is a key step in the process. And just wanted to speak a little bit to how we got here. So to refresh folks' memories, you were alluding to this, Chair, but the 3 properties that remain in the successor agency's hands are all in the town center. They all currently have public parking garages on them. And we have had, over a period of many months, actually, very productive discussions with the city of Sunnyvale regarding these properties as we try to get to a resolution and dissolve the successor agency. We do think the proposed agreement before you really is in all the different parties' interests. One key thing to flag is that, and the board probably remembers this, but one of the 3 properties has some contamination to it. So there's PCE contamination as a result of a former dry cleaning business that was on the property. And the Regional Water Quality Board requires monitoring every year for that contaminant. You probably see it come up on the ROPS each year. There's a cost to that annual monitoring. So to summarize, the agreement before you there's no compensation or revenue sharing for the taxing entities in exchange for release of liability related to that contaminated property. So the agreement does include a commitment that we would amend the ROPS to pay a one-time cost for environmental insurance policy for the city to be able to have some protection in the early years related to that contamination. Then the next item on your agenda today is approval of those ROPS. You'll notice that the insurance policy is not yet on there, and the reason for that is until we have a fully executed agreement and a current quote for the cost of the insurance policy, we don't want to yet put it on the ROPS, but that is something we would be planning to come back to this board for an amended ROPS, probably at your September meeting, if not before. So a couple final comments on why we think the agreement really benefits all parties. So obviously the city would have control over the parcels, but from the taxing entity's perspective, not only is there a release from liability, there is the ability now to dissolve the agency, which means that there would be the administrative cost of producing the ROPS and of transferring the tax increment funding into the I always get the acronym wrong, but I guess it's RPTTF, the Redevelopment Property Tax Trust Fund, and the costs that are associated with that would all end. And as I mentioned before, there's an annual cost to the environmental monitoring that we see show up on the ROPS every year as well. So this would get us to the point where we really kind of, the end goal I know with all of these agencies, which is to come to a resolution where we can actually dissolve the agency. This would be the third of the 9 redevelopment agencies that would be fully dissolved after we complete these steps. And happy at a future meeting if folks are interested to hear kind of where we are on all of the different agencies. Several of them, as you'll recall, have last and final ROPS that have been approved. So it's largely just having the final bond payments get paid off that we're waiting for on those, but happy to provide an update on that if that's helpful. But all in all, we think the agreement before you today really does benefit all parties, and so I don't know if the successor agency had anything they wanted to add. I know we have Rebecca Moon from the city attorney from Sunnyvale. I think we have some folks online as well, but we're all here to answer any questions as well.
Thank you, Brian. Good afternoon, Ms. Moon.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I didn't push it enough. Thank you, Mr. Darrow. I think you gave a great summary of the situation, and I just want to thank the Oversight Board. It's hard to overstate how important this matter is to the city of Sunnyvale, and I just wanted to note that we're very close to February 1st. And the effective date of the dissolution of California redevelopment agencies was February 1st, 2012. So the children, that was 14 years ago, and the children born in 2012 are now in high school. And I'm just hoping that we can wrap this up before they're ready to get a driver's license. So thank you very much.
It looks like that might be possible. Any questions? Yes.
Oops. Yeah, I would like Mr. Darrow to follow up in the subsequent meeting about the status of all the,
Same.
yeah.
Yeah, perhaps we'll talk about it in either the September meeting or the December meeting, but maybe the September. Okay. We're ready. Yes.
Happy to do that.
I was also going to ask if we could have an update, so that's great. The other question I have is more procedural. So I know the compensation agreement has already been approved, and then you said there's a subsequent process where the school districts would then look at it. What does that process look like?
We would need to bring these items to the respective boards for approval, so we'll be reaching out. I know we have at least one member of one of those boards here. I know the Water District. But we will need to have those approved. We're suspecting it'll involve, a detailed conversation with folks behind the scenes, and then,
Okay.
I'm guessing on consent on a lot of their meetings. But of course, if folks want to discuss the item, we will be present and able to answer any questions. But yeah, we will need to assuming the oversight board here is comfortable, our next step is really lining up each of those and checking the calendar for all of those dates and making sure that we're getting in front of those boards in time to be back here to amend the ROPS and move everything forward.
By
this year.
September?
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
We'll try. Yes?
I have a question. So I just want to understand, you're saying you're hoping all this will be dissolved soon. Are we talking about all three garage, all three property, or are we just talking
Yes,
about
right, there's,
all
yeah,
three?
there's 3 parcels, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
3 assessor parcels
Are
that are
we-
noted. 209, that's 34021, 20934, that's 025, and 209, that's 35-014.
Are they the last properties within the city of Sunnyvale?
Yes.
They are, okay. Just confirming, thank you.
Any other questions? We'll entertain a motion for approval then, to adopt the resolution.
I can move approval to adopt the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Yes, second. Okay. We'll have a roll call. Colin,
All
please.
right, Member Berry.
Aye.
Member Gomez. Member Chim.
Aye.
Member Pasquale.
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Snow.
Yes.
Chairperson Estamera.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. We'll move over to, thank you very much. You have one more. So we'll have item number 6, adopt resolution to approve the recognized obligation payment schedule for the period July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2027 for the successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency of the City of Sunnyvale. Any questions with respect to that? If none, we'll entertain a motion for adopting of the resolution.
I make a motion to adopt it.
Thank you. Is there a second?
And I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay, we have no request to speak.
Any questions? Okay, we'll have a
All right,
roll
motion
call.
by Member Berry, second by Chim. Member Berry.
Aye.
Member Gomez.
Aye.
Member Chim.
Aye.
Member Pasquale.
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Snow.
Yes.
And Chairperson Estamera.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. We'll move over to item 7, adopt a resolution to approve the recognized obligation payment schedule and administrative budget for period July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2027 for the successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency of the City of Milpitas.
Item 7 and item 7 through how many numbers we got here? 7 through 11 were voted and approved on consent. So those are all the items that we have to vote on unless I'm missing something.
Great. I didn't see the list on consent,
Yeah.
but great.
And we put those on consent because, just for transparency, because there was, the county auditor controller reviewed and had no objection to any of those ROPS that were submitted. And actually, in fact, it was interesting, and we thank San Jose for, again, they've had a full year now of tracking their administrative costs. This board had asked them to not just estimate, but actually track actual costs. So now that they've had that full year, they're projecting forward for next year based on a full year of actual data, and the administrative costs have gone down 24%, I believe is the number. So anyway, we didn't want to, the reason those were on consent is because of a comfort
Right.
level
No, it's
with
fine. It's-
what was recommended.
Exactly. Great. Great. Well, then we're at our favorite point, adjournment. So we're going to adjourn to Friday, September 25th, 26th at 1:30, and we'll try to have a report on the updates on all the districts. Thank you all. We stand adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you very much.